Best known to tourists for its beautiful beaches and dramatic coastline, the Italian island of Sardinia is also a major testing ground for NATO weapons. Locals have long alleged these tests have had toxic effects on their health. For years, the authorities have refuted those claims. Reporter Emma Alberici went to investigate.
The Costa Smeralda is a magnet for the rich and famous. It hosts the most beautiful beaches in all of Europe.
It's not hard to see what draws people to this place. Former Prime Minister Silvio Berlusconi was one of the first to invest here.
But I've come here to investigate a darker side. The cover-ups, the secrets, the mystery illnesses that have blighted life on this glorious island for decades.
The wealth of the north is a stark contrast to other parts of the island where visitors are forbidden. Sardinia plays host to some of the world's most elaborate war games, like this one in 2015. Trident Juncture was one of NATO's biggest exercises. Dozens of countries were involved. The military exclusion zones cover more than a third of Sardinia's land, sea and air. Rome is reported to be making $1.5 million a day renting out this space to foreign forces and weapons manufacturers. Down south in Teolada, the beaches are just as stunning, but they're mostly inaccessible. The Marica family have been fishing in these waters for generations.
Questo punto qui è la zona interdetta dove non possiamo lavorare, che sarebbe 200 metri da Punta Menga. Che Punta Menga sarebbe questa che è qui, verso Capo Teulada, che sarebbe...
What happens if you do go there?
Se andiamo lì, la prima volta, sono 4.000 euro di verbale.
The Italian Ministry of Defence has deemed vast areas of the sea around Sardinia off limits.
Lì ci sono la vedetta dove mettono i militari per guardare quando noi oltrepassiamo il limite. Loro telefonano...
There are two members of the military up there watching us.
Most of the military operations on Sardinia have been kept secret since 1951. They're the result of an arrangement struck with NATO countries after the Second World War.
Incaricata appunto della verifica radioattiva, e questo è il comandante della base di Teulada.
Mauro Pilli has made it his life's mission to bust open this wall of silence. He was once the political leader of Sardinia, but even then he couldn't get access to see what was going on at the military bases. Mauro Pilli did eventually get into the Teolada military site, but only after he was elected to the federal parliament in Rome. He was told there would be strictly no filming allowed.
Ovviamente sono immagini che io ho girato non autorizzato, potevo assolutamente farle, ma loro mi vietarono di farlo e quindi furono trafugate, diciamo così.
Despite the secrecy, bits of information have started to leak out. In 2017, Sardinian health authorities confirmed 4,200 French-made Milan missiles arrived on the island over the 20 years to 2003. Some were fired at Teolada.
Questo lui dice, questo è il missile Milan, il residuato del missile Milan.
Che l'avevano esploso.
Sì. Sono le lunette radioattive del missile Milan.
Frammento Milan.
The guidance systems of these Milan missiles each carry 3 grams of radioactive thorium. Inhaling thorium dust increases the risk of lung and pancreatic cancer.
Sono scomparse isole. Isolotti in mezzo al mare sono stati cancellati dai missili sparati da terra, da aria e dallo stesso mare.
The main concern for Sardinians living close to the firing ranges isn't about damage to the land or restricted access. They're worried that bomb residue might be killing them. Today, Teolada is saying goodbye to another of its citizens, 59-year-old Mario Troga. As a young man, he worked at the firing range. He died of lung cancer, but he wasn't a smoker. Many of the people gathered here have been touched by cancer.
Mio suocero è morto di tumori, mio suocero gli hanno tagliato una gamba che aveva una specie di tumore lo stesso, mio padre è morto. Mia sorella è morta giovane con un tumore al polmone. Mia moglie è ancora in vita ma ha avuto dei tumori diversi, quindi ha fatto 3 interventi, 2 al seno e 1 al polmone. Il polmone gli manca, mezzo polmone, tutte.
Giulio Angioni and his friends blame the Italian Defence Force for their suffering.
65 avevamo di tumore, in un mese un tumore devastante, proprio se l'ha portato via.
E lavorava in giro di...
Allora, mio marito ha lavorato quando era giovane lì alla base militare.
The Italian military has always denied doing anything to hurt the people, the land, or the animals of Sardinia. Abondia Pires and her husband Giancarlo have been fighting the military through the courts for 10 years.
Avrebbero dovuto proteggerlo, custodirlo.
Questo è Francesco, quando era vivace, gli piaceva la musica.
Francesco Pires did his national service at Teolada in the late 90s. He took part in military exercises, and his parents say he was ordered to pick up old shells with his bare hands. A few years later, at the age of 27, he was diagnosed with pancreatic cancer. His parents blamed the armed forces.
Poteva essere qualcos'altro?
No, assolutamente, anche perché nelle conclusioni finali di questo dossier che mi ha mandato c'era scritto che era impossibile che una persona facendo una vita normale, a contatto con delle cose normali, è impossibile aver tutte queste porcherie all'interno del fegato.
This is the rubbish Giancarlo says built up in his son's liver. They're particles so small they can quickly pass through your lungs and into your body. Biomedical engineer Antonietta Gatti analysed Francesco's liver tissue. She found nanoparticles of 7 different metals in the tumour, including chromium, tungsten and titanium. There's no metals industry around, but these are all used by the arms industry. Dr. Gatti believes Francesco was contaminated by dust from a big explosion.
A seconda dell'attività tu trovi un inquinamento che è strettamente collegato con quello che si è bruciato. Questo è il punto fondamentale.
The science of nanoparticles is still new, but the World Health Organization says early signs show that fine material may be harmful to public health. The WHO is encouraging further research. Dr. Gatti has consulted to 4 parliamentary inquiries that looked into the activities of the Italian Defence Force.
Noi siamo stati finanziati per altri 3 milioni di euro, va bene, con una partnership di 11 laboratori molto qualificati a livello europeo. E quindi lì abbiamo ovviamente verificato che queste nanoparticelle hanno libero accesso alla cellula.
Sono stati 3 mesi di dolore intenso, dolore fisico, dolore mentale. La morte te l'aspetti, può succedere, ma il dolore che lui ha avuto questi 3 mesi, chi li rende? Cioè, non si può pensare quanto ha sofferto.
It's a 2-hour drive heading north out of Teolada to the Quirra bombing range. This is the scene of tragic health stories and mysterious birth defects that have come to be dubbed the Quirra syndrome. For many here, life is still slow and traditional. But at towns like Escalaplano, perched on the edge of the firing range, passions are inflamed.
Si parla di 186 morti a Quirra, di quelli conosciuti, ma quanti sono?
Non solo militari.
Non solo militari, ma la maggior parte sono quelli che operavano dentro il poligono di Quirra.
Quirra is the biggest military test site in Europe. It's used by NATO countries as well as Israel. Those living nearby have known much tragedy. Dr. Gatti has become an advocate for some of the people of Quirra. Maria Teresa already had 10 healthy children when her last child arrived in 1988. The baby girl was born so severely deformed, her mother has never let her photo be seen. She was baptised Maria Grazia. She was blind and couldn't move or speak.
Maria Grazia, chi l'ha conosciuta, non se l'è più scordata perché ti rimane proprio dentro.
Escalaplano Cemetery is a sad testament. 1 in 4 of the children born in the same year as Maria Grazia had some kind of deformity.
Praticamente mi è morta sulle braccia. Mi è morta sulle braccia. E non c'è stato niente da fare. Mi è crollato il mondo. Perché anche se era ammalata Maria Grazia, io non ero pronta. No, non ero pronta.
Gianpiero Scanu has tried to hold the military to account. He led a 2-year parliamentary inquiry. His committee met fierce resistance from the chiefs of defence.
Se non ci volevano far vedere certe cose, non ce le hanno fatte vedere. Nei poligoni si poteva fare quello che si voleva perché non c'era nessun controllo.
We've made repeated attempts to speak to the military during our research for this story, but we've been blocked at every turn. Now, this document, dated 2011, has come our way. It's a confidential Ministry of Defence memo instructing military officials on how to respond to questions about the health and environmental conditions in and around the bombing sites. What stands out is what they're told to say about birth defects. They're told to explain it away with a shocking allegation that children born with deformities are the result of inbreeding.
No, che cominciassero a fare studi genetici, che fosse il caso che stiamo spiegando.
This is General Fabio Molteni, a former head of the Quirra base. He's caught on Swiss TV delivering that key message.
Là sono tutti parenti, ma sono tutti parenti, si sposano con cugini, fratelli, è una cosa, però non si può dire perché sennò si offendono i sardi.
There's no evidence to support that claim. The children born with disabilities were conceived in the late 80s, when old munitions, bombs and rockets were being routinely disposed of at Quirra. They were blown up in a pit 20 metres deep and 40 metres wide.
L'hai visto? Sì, non solo io, ma tutti l'hanno visto.
E com'era?
La polverina era rossa, non nera, era rossa.
For decades, dust from explosions and tests has rained down on the towns and the grazing fields of the firing range. Exactly what was in them, no one knows. In the early 2000s, local doctors saw a spike in the number of unusual cancers in their patients. At the same time, over in Florence, military pilot Domenico Leggero was raising his concerns. He'd seen a high incidence of cancers among fellow soldiers returning from Kosovo, where they'd been exposed to depleted uranium.
Stavamo provando quello che succedeva sui territori di operazione internazionale, è stato naturale riportarlo in Sardegna, perché, ripeto, la quantità di munizionamento esploso e ai numerosi addestramenti ed esercitazioni che si svolgono nei poligoni sardi non hanno nulla da togliere, niente di meno rispetto a quella che può essere una situazione di un teatro operativo belligerante.
The Italian military felt the pressure. Depleted uranium is mildly radioactive and long suspected of causing cancer and birth defects. It's used to help missiles penetrate heavy armour. At Quirra, scientist Francesco Riccobono was flown in by the Ministry of Defence to do some soil tests in front of a swarm of local media.
Sono testate di guerra convenzionali, non sono assolutamente né testate di guerra nucleari né di tipi particolari, men che meno contengono uranio impoverito, perché proprio non ne trattiamo.
Francesco Riccobono didn't find any depleted uranium. Keeping quiet about the possible presence of thorium, Defence declared the firing range clear.
Quindi gli italiani non hanno in dotazione armi all'uranio, non hanno mai sparato, vero, punto. Ma i poligoni della Sardegna sono poligoni internazionali. Quando uno Stato della NATO chiede di utilizzarlo, è tenuto anche a non dire quello che utilizza per una questione di riservatezza e di sicurezza nazionale.
Che pena.
Then, in 2010, events took a shocking turn. The photos you're about to see are disturbing. A lamb born with one eye. Others with deformities the likes and severity of which scientists and public health experts had never seen before.
Nascevano agnelli con gli occhi posteriori, qui al posto delle orecchie avevano gli occhi. Io non avevo mai visto questo. Un allevatore mi ha detto, quando gli ho detto, ma questo, mi ha detto, era un periodo, mi ha detto, che avevo paura di entrare dentro la mattina, dentro alla stalla, erano per vedere questi capretti malformati. Erano mostruosità inguardabili.
Vet Giorgio Mellis co-wrote a report for the District Health Authority, assessing the risks posed by activities at the bombing range. Remarkably, the team of scientists found 65% of the shepherds living close to the range had cancers.
Perché questo è l'unico poligono, penso, al mondo che vivono gli allevatori dentro al poligono e gli animali pascolano dentro alle zone dove venivano effettuate le esplosioni, i bombardamenti, tutte le esercitazioni, per cui eravamo preoccupati di questo, preoccupati per le persone che erano là, preoccupati per chi consumava questi alimenti. Per cui abbiamo cercato di informare tutte le autorità in modo che poi approfondire.
Le analisi confermano tutte le...
Immediately, a formal police investigation was launched. The court ordered the exhumation of 18 shepherds who died in the 20 years up to 2010. Their bones were shipped here to Italy's north and examined at 2 universities. Nuclear physicist Evandro Lodi Rizzini led some of that research.
Il risultato delle molteplici analisi svolte a Brescia e a Pavia hanno indicato la presenza in una decina di casi, 11 casi, di quantità di uranio, ma soprattutto di torio, più elevate.
Those 11 shepherds with high levels of thorium in their bones had all lived close to the firing range.
Più uno ha vissuto in quel territorio, maggiore è la quantità di torio presente.
In the regional capital, Lanusei, the chief prosecutor called a meeting with the scientists who'd done the soil testing for the military. Why hadn't researcher Francesco Riccobono found any uranium or the much more dangerous thorium in the soil at Quirra? While he was questioned upstairs, outside, police opened his car and hid a listening device inside. As he drove back to the airport, the bug picked up his conversation with an assistant. He'd been interrogated for leaving thorium out of his report, and he was angry with the military.
You're the ones who commissioned us to do this work. If you thought that was important, if you're honest, you say to me, hey, make sure to include it because it's important.
Francesco Riccobono's university received a $2.4 million government grant to carry out its work. He was later acquitted of charges that he was involved in a cover-up. Mauro Pilli is still convinced of foul play.
Tutto rientrava in questa grande farsa di Stato. L'obiettivo era quello di tappare la bocca a tutti coloro che avevano inizialmente iniziato a segnalare i pericoli per quel territorio, per quell'ambiente.
Nel quale sarebbe stata rilevata.
8 former commanders at Quirra are now on trial, charged with breaching their duty of care for the health and safety of soldiers and civilians. One of them is Fabio Molteni, infamously caught on film claiming Sardinians are inbred. Another is Paolo Ricci, who had declared Quirra uranium-free. After 2 decades and 3 previous inconclusive inquiries, last year Gianpiero Scanu's committee made a bold finding.
Hanno costantemente affermato l'esistenza sul piano giuridico di un nesso di causalità tra l'accertata esposizione all'uranio impoverito e le patologie denunciate dai militari. Questa è una pietra miliare.
For the first time, nanoparticles of depleted uranium were found to play a role in the possible development of tumours. Crucially, thorium, when inhaled or ingested, was found to be 5 times more dangerous than depleted uranium. The Scanu report was dismissed by the Italian Defence Force.
Per tutte intendeva fare chiarezza ed io credo che nella relazione finale della commissione che ho presieduto finalmente sia stata scritta la verità.
But after all that work by the Commission, a new law to monitor the health of soldiers was blocked by the upper house in Rome. For decades, Sardinia has held its secrets close. It's been locked in an uncomfortable embrace with the world's military. In a country mired in debt, defence contracts are a source of income, but also quite possibly the cause of untold misery. After all the inquiries and with military brass now on trial, for the people of this island paradise, there is a glimmer of hope that the truth may finally see the light of day.